The year was 1975. As a freshly minted high school graduate, I was about to embark on my first full-time adult job. Do you remember your first full-time adult job? I'm hoping your experience was a little better than mine. I was making aluminum downspout. Now, for those of you not familiar with downspout, most houses have a rain gutter along the top. And to channel the water down, you put aluminum tubes down the side of the house at strategic locations to channel the water off so it doesn't make any problems on your house. Now, aluminum downspout is made thusly. We have a large machine. At this end, you load a coil of raw aluminum weighing between 800 and 1,000 pounds. Then you feed it through this long machine. When it comes out, it's actually the downspout that you have seen. You send off a 10-foot row, then you cut it, put it in the box, start the whole process over again. When you have put 10-foot lengths in the box, you take the box, pick it up, put it into storage, start all over to create a new 10-foot box. I was working with a coworker, Lyda Jones. Starting at 8, ending at 5, 1 hour for lunch, 2 10-minute breaks. Every single day, I could feel my IQ getting lower. But I was making $2.25 an hour. I don't like to brag, but that was 5 cents over the minimum wage. So day after day, send the 10-foot, bam, bam, load 10 of them, carry the box. When you're standing there for 8 hours a day, you talk a lot. And one of the conversations I had was, Lyda, what's the most anybody ever made in a day? She says, you know, I don't know. I seem to recall one day we had a big rush and we made 13,500 feet of aluminum downspout, roughly 135 boxes. My quota every day was 10,000 feet. It only took me about 4 days to get familiar enough with the process to get 10,000 feet. So it wasn't that difficult a job. Within maybe 3 or 4 weeks, I was regularly creating 12 to 13,000 feet. So one day, I was talking to Lyda. Lyda, what would you think about setting a record for this someday? She said, you do most of the work, Jeffrey. I'm just here helping. If you want to, that's fine. So we decided to take one day, and we were going to see what kind of record we could take. We set the stage. I loaded a brand new 1,000-pound roll of coil so we wouldn't run out and I would have to reload another coil. We decided to keep it fair. We were going to take our 10-minute breaks. We were going to take our 1-hour lunch. We wanted a fair accounting. We realized the critical piece that slowed everything down was when I took the box to load it into storage, Lyda would get a new box. But the 10-foot length would stay there until I got back. So the one critical piece to really speed it up was for me to get back in time to cut that piece as soon as we got back. Now, to tell you, I was 18. I was, well, let's just say somewhat lighter than I am now. Okay, I was like 200 pounds lighter than I am now. I was a young, lean, mean, fit guy, just had finished a career of high school wrestling and football. I was in good shape. So that day, I didn't walk to store it, I sprinted. I would grab that 10-foot box, run over, slide it into storage, back I would come just in time to slice that next 10-foot roll. At the end of the day, 5 p.m., we had completed 18,700 feet of downspout. Hosannas from on high. The mayor came down to give me the key to the city. Crowds roared their approval. Actually, nobody said a thing. Next week, the owner of the company, Bob Corder, when I was in the office, said, and I quote, "Hey, I noticed you had a pretty good week last week, Jeffrey." That was it. Now, you should realize there was something else going on. Remember, I was 18 years old, and like most 18-year-olds, I was sometimes out late in the evening, marching for civil rights and feeding the homeless at the soup kitchens. Okay, I was an 18-year-old guy, I was chasing girls. What do you want? What do 18-year-old guys do? We chase girls. So occasionally I would be late to work. Occasionally I would leave early to get ready for a date. I wasn't the most reliable employee. About 6 weeks into my job, I take a motorcycle trip to Asheville. I get caught in Asheville. It is pouring down rain. I called Bob Corder from Asheville. You all remember when you have to do this?
Yep.
For young people, you used to have to actually dial a phone. That's why they called it dialing. And he said, I told him I was going to be late tomorrow. He said, that's fine. Come in when you're here. So I came in Monday, came into the office, made it back about 11:30 a.m., walked into the office to be greeted by Bob Corder. He had a check in his hand. He said, Jeffrey, this is your final check. We've decided to go in a different direction. Bob, I'm the best producer this company's ever had. Jeffrey, we don't have a use for the occasional star performer. We need somebody who shows up on time every day and does a full day of work. Now I will tell you, in the ensuing 4 decades, the irony that I got one of my best lessons from a man who was in the process of firing me has not escaped me. And I've never forgotten that. I've now been at my current company for 3 decades. I've survived 7 restructurings, which is corporate code for layoffs. All the people that I joined with in the original department are long gone. And I recently had a talk with a gentleman who is in a similar circumstance from a different department who is still there. We decided, why have we survived when so many didn't? And we think it has come down to this. Luck is part of it. We weren't any smarter than anybody. We weren't any better looking than anybody. Well, maybe better looking. But other than that, my friend is just like me. We show up every day on time and do a full day of work. And that has made all the difference. Mr. Toastmaster.